Hey guys, this is your host Eric. Today we are going to watch action genre movie called Fast Furious 7. Spoilers ahead, turn on your subtitle, I greatly appreciate your support. Enjoy the video. The film revealed the appearance of a new character in London, England. The bald man is Shaw's brother. He's a notorious criminal who Dom's group pushed out of the plane in the previous installment, but he's not dead yet. The bald man visited Shaw in the hospital and promised to avenge his brother. There were cops everywhere outside the hospital room. Before leaving, the bald man set off a massive explosion. Concerning Dom and his girlfriend Letty, they were on their way to the ideal racing paddock where they had long ago gathered. Dom wishes for Letty to recall the good old days. Letty won a race with one of his friends there. Because of the intensity of the celebration, Letty was dubbed the Ghost by many. Because Lady had PTSD, she accidentally punched a friend. Everyone was stunned and had no idea what was going on. Letty went to the cemetery and stood in front of her gravestone, her face confident. Dom appeared with a hammer, ready to break the tombstone that everyone had made for Letty a long time ago. But she stopped him because she believed the old Letty had died. She is no longer the same person. Hobbs and Elena are the next agents to investigate how the bald guy who appeared at the beginning of the film destroyed the hospital and killed the cops for no reason. Hobbs had to be a professional assassin knowing this guy. Hobbs drove Elena to her car and returned to the office after work. Hobbs then noticed the bald man sitting on his computer, downloading all of the data on the people involved in his brother's murder. The bald guy then jumped in and beat the crap out of Hobbs. Hobbs collapsed to discover his gun already hidden beneath the table. Inadvertently, Elena appears in both of the shots of the bald man. Because the bald man wasn't feeling well, he threw the grenade at the hoe to keep his teammates safe from the explosion. Hobbs wrapped his buffalo body around Delano, jumped out the window, and landed on the roof of a car. Let us now discuss the Brian and Mia family. She recently discovered she is pregnant, but she is afraid to tell Brian for fear of upsetting him. Perfect timing. When Dom went to see his family, Mia informed him of her pregnancy. Suddenly, Dom receives a phone call from Bald Man, informing him of the bomb he has hidden in the box in front of him. Dom rushed to Mia's aid, just in time to avoid the explosion. Thankfully, no one was seriously hurt in another development agent. Hobbs fractured his leg and broke his collarbone as a result of his encounter with the bald man. Hobbs had to ask Elena to contact Dom in order to obtain information about him. Dom's family is about to be murdered by a professional assassin with no hair. Hobbs had been seriously injured. He couldn't participate, so he requested a favor from Dom. Dom inquired, and Hobbs responded softly, "Don't pass up seeing the bald guy." Dom is concerned about his family's safety after the explosion at Brian and Mia's house, so he takes them to Dominica. There is a heavily fortified fortress with guards all around. He requests protection from an old friend in Dominica. Dom and Brian travel to Tokyo in search of Han's clues. A photo of Giselle and Dom's necklace is sent to a friend, Dom. He was aware that this could be an important clue. Dom and his friends attend Han's funeral. Because of the death of one of their team members, the atmosphere here is extremely cold. They are prepared to avenge Han, but they are unaware that the bald man is watching them from afar. When Dom discovered this, he pursued the bald man down the bridge until the bald man abruptly turned the car around, pressed the gas, and hit Dom. Both cars collided when Dom saw that he didn't hesitate and immediately rushed toward the bald man. Both cars eventually broke down. They were both able to get out of the car, however. I'm guessing it's a Hollywood cliche. There would be no movies to watch if these two men died. Dom got out of the car, ready to smack the bald guy, when he noticed him pulling out his gun. Damn, Dom brought a knife to a gunfight, but luckily, a group of special forces were swinging down the rope, firing at the bald man, saving Dom's ass. The bald man had no choice but to make the coward flee. It turns out that Grupo Special Forces' new agent Hobbs promised to assist Dom in capturing the bald man. Saddam accompanied the cop back to their base. Mr. Nobody promises to assist Dom in stopping the bald guy if Dom assists him in obtaining the God Eye. It is software that can track everyone on the planet. The God Eye was created by a hacker named Ramsey, but that hacker is being held captive by a terrorist named Yi. Nobody wants Dom to take on the mission to save Ramsey for God's sake. The God Eye is a transcendental satellite capable of locating anyone on the planet. Dom agreed because he wanted to use the Holy Eye to find the bald man. Dom agrees to do this mission on the condition that he has his own team. Mr. Nobody knew about this, so he invited Dom's entire family to the corporation where the plan was being developed. The Caucasus Mountains in Arby are the target this time. The terrain is extremely hazardous, so the groups devised a crazy plan to drop a parachute with their car from the sky. They sat in their car, which had been flown there by plane. When the plane detected the target, it opened the door for the entire Dom group to free fall, but one member was too scared to leave. His brother unlocked the parachute from his car to help him overcome his fear. Then he fell like Loki for 30 seconds, except for the terrified black man. The entire team landed safely. His car landed in the wrong place, say, in the trees, and he was left behind. The entire gang continues its pursuit of the convoy that is holding Ramsey. The subject's situation worsened when he discovered Dom's group was on its way to rescue the hostages. The thug group began firing continuously at Dom's group. The black brother had now caught up with the group and was supporting his teammates. Still the same as before, Brian broke into the terrorist truck and rescued Rams thanks to his teammates' rhythmic coordination and goodwill. He tossed her on top of Dom's car. Brian was about to leave when he was pulled back by a terrorist. Both of them fought fiercely and unexpectedly. He appeared as a balding man, like a ghost, continuing to exact vengeance on Dom's gang. The bald man appears to be trying to prevent Dom from saving Ramsey. Dom's group is in trouble this time, with both the terrorists and the bald guy. Both sides opened fire on one another. When he returned his attention to Brian, he discovered that the opponent intended to shoot him to prevent this. Brian unexpectedly reached out to grab his hand. A stray bullet struck the driver, causing the car to skid. The terrorists took advantage of the opportunity to flee and locked the truck to trap Brian. The truck slid down the mountain gradually. Fortunately, Brian crawled to the front of the truck, broke the glass out, and was rescued by his teammates. Dom managed to elude the bald man's pursuit. The terrorists gathered in large numbers to force Dom's car close to them, and his men stepped out of the car, guns drawn. There is no other option at Dom Dome. He must pull off the ultimate Hollywood stunt. Dom made the insane decision to jump off the cliff. Only in a movie is there a scene where the car is thrown off a cliff, breaking the entire vehicle, and everyone survives. Continuing on, the entire team meets under the cliff. Dom begins questioning Ramsey about an important device. She unquestionably showed Dom where the God Eye was kept. She emailed it to a friend in Abu Dhabi named Safar. Starting their new flight, the gang unexpectedly arrived in Abu Dhabi and inquired about the God Eye. He sold the God Eye to a Jordanian prince who was visiting this country to party. Safar then led the group to the party where the prince was keeping the God Eye. Dom and Brian are close to the target while searching for the God Eye in the car, which led to the discovery of his side. Dom's group is pursued by all of the soldiers in the building because he was unable to locate the guy. Dom took the car and crashed into the wall to get away, but he had no idea the bald man would show up again. The bald man pulls out a gun and fires wildly at Dom. Unfortunately, this one-of-a-kind bulletproof vehicle is difficult to penetrate. Dom sped away, deciding to fly from one building to the next. Dom eventually made it, but the brakes were busted, so the car continued to rush from one building to the next. Brian managed to get the God Eye on the car just in time, and the two jumped out. The police arrived to assist Dom after learning that he had successfully obtained the God Eye. They used the God Eye to figure out where the bald man was. The police chief and his family arrived soon after, but they had fallen into the bald man trap. Comrade, the bald guy set ambush all over the place. Jer assisted the bald brother at the start of the gunfight, allowing him to defeat all of the cops. Dom surrendered the God Eye to Jack's hand, knowing the situation was dire. Dom and Brian got into their car and drove away. It's only a matter of time before the bald guy and Yi uses the God Eye to locate them. They must assist Ramsey in getting as close to the Holy Eye as possible in order for her to hack it. This confrontation is a matter of life and death, so Brian calls Mia because this could be their last chance. Brian was motivated to return to his when Mia revealed that she is pregnant with a baby girl. Dom predicted that the bald man's side would activate the God Eye and locate Dom. The group is also preparing for battle. The bald man and Dom keep playing, Jerry and Tom. He is currently chasing Ramsey with a helicopter. The God Eye was then permanently his. Ramsey now has enough distance to hack the God Eye without giving her the opportunity. He launches a drone to attack Ramsey, and Brian and Ramsey flee to the bridge, where they are pursued by drones that fire repeatedly. Brian attempted to avoid the plane, but it fired missiles. It was difficult to flee this time because it was clear that the missile could not be avoided. When Brian's teammates arrived, he called for assistance. Ramsey eventually jumped over their car safely. Brian's car was blown up by the rocket, but he escaped safely. I'm running out of time as the drones pursue Ramsey. Ramsey in the absence of the satellite tower. I was unable to hack the Goatee. Brassy converses with Brian. Run up to the building to continue hacking the God. Agent Hobbs, who is now in the hospital, is aware of the situation. He drove an ambulance to help Dom's team. Hobbs appears to have driven his car into a wreck as the drone pursued Ramsey to the foot of the bridge, narrowly saving his teammates' lives. When he was stopped by Jack and soldiers, Brian dashed up to the building with the satellite. Finally, he defeated all of those groups and continued the mission. Dom and Hobbs couldn't contain their feelings for each other once more. They decided to ram each other with their cars in some way. Once again, they are fine. The two men also got out of the car and engaged in hand-to-hand combat. At the same time, Ya opened fire on Dom, despite the presence of the bald man. He didn't strike me as a teammate. Helicopters shot and cracked the entire structure. Dom sees an opportunity and kicks the ground hard, knocking him down and covering him with. Hobbs appears with a minigun and fires at the enemy helicopters. This time, the helicopter pursued and killed Dom. He drove recklessly up to the plane to throw grenades at the helicopter, which he avoided, but the helicopter was hanged by Dom when he was unaware. Hobbs noticed this and opened fire on the grenade, holstering the entire helicopter as Dom fell from a great height. He was in a lot of pain. Dom's teammates arrived to help, but it appeared that Dom had stopped breathing. He was subjected to CPR by the team. At this point, Letty hugs him and recalls everything Letty has told him about their beautiful wedding. Dom was resurrected, and Letty's arms became truly family, thanks to the power of family. When the bald man is still alive and being held in a high-security CIA secret prison by the police, the film's plan is to keep Johnny Sin here, with a dangerous expression. "Do you think this place can hold me?" Baldy asked Hobbs. Hobbs, on the other hand, is confident in the security, with 12 meters of reinforced concrete in a body bag waiting for him if he tries to flee. Finley's family goes on a vacation trip at the end of the film. Brian can spend eternity with Mia and her son. Then we see Hobbs and Brian driving the two brothers in separate directions. We really appreciate you watching. If you enjoy this video, please give it a like. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel with the notification bell because it is really important for us. Thank you.